What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we will discuss Liverpool's injury situation, because this will make the title race a lot tighter, a lot more interesting, a lot closer, because Joel Matip, Liverpool's best defender alongside Van Dijk since like the beginning of the year, is out for potentially 10 games. Yes, you heard that right. He could be back only in December, so he misses a lot of games, and he only featured once in the past 5 games as well, so he could potentially miss as many as 14 games in total. And this is actually a recurrence of the knee injury that he suffered away at Sheffield United, and he has only played in the Manchester United game since then. So I think that Lovren and Joe Gomez really need to step up, but the problem is that Joe Gomez also just recently came back from injury, which means that there will be a huge part for Lovren to play, and that makes me very nervous because he is not our best defender by a long shot, but he could have some good games. He actually played pretty well against Tottenham, apart from that big unfortunate event where he tried to clear the shot from I think it was Heung-min Son just at the beginning of the Tottenham game, and we conceded from that, so it was a little bit of unlucky. And Jurgen Klopp actually, when he was doing his press conference ahead of the Genk Champions League game, he said that the Matip knee injury is just a little thing which usually settles in 2 weeks, but now Liverpool have revealed that it did settle, but then it came up after the Manchester United game. So he re-injured his knee, it flared up again. So now, according to Liverpool, we now just have to make sure that this time it settles finally, and that's all. It is not a massive injury, it's just a bit annoying for Joel Matip that he can't play now for at least for 5 or 6 weeks, and that could rule him out from as many as 10 fixtures, starting with Arsenal in the League Cup at Anfield, but he probably would have been rested. The big worry is for Liverpool that we have the huge Manchester City game at Anfield, and I really wanted Matip to be fit for that one, because if we could beat Manchester City at Anfield and open up potentially a 9-point gap, that could be absolutely massive in the title race, because after that Manchester City have some huge games coming up. They play a lot of the top 7 sides, including Leicester, they play Tottenham, they play Chelsea, so they have some really tough fixtures coming up. And of course Man City also have some defensive problems as well themselves. They have Laporte, their best defender, out. They have Fernandinho suspended because of 2 yellow cards, but I think Fernandinho will be back for that Liverpool game. And I'm really hoping that Joe Gomez is ready to push for some starts, and I would actually play Joe Gomez against Arsenal just to give him enough playing time to boost his fitness and to increase his match sharpness. Then I would play Lovren against Aston Villa just to keep him in the team with Van Dijk, and then against Genk in the Champions League I would play Joe Gomez again. Probably I would play whoever impresses Jurgen Klopp the most in the Manchester City game. So basically Joe Gomez and Lovren have 3 games to really form a good partnership with Van Dijk. Well, not 3 but 2 games in fact, because against Arsenal in the League Cup Van Dijk will probably be rested. And Jurgen Klopp is actually very excited about Joe Gomez. He told Sky Sports, Joe Gomez is completely back. He knows that. It's just how it is sometimes that he misses out in some games. He was not in his 100% best shape, but now he is back, and it's a good timing with Matip's injury as well. And Shaqiri has such bad luck with injuries. He has been sidelined since September with a calf problem, and he's not expected to come back into contention until next month. So Shaqiri will only be back after the international break, which is at the end of November. We want to give him time, said Pepin Linders in the pre-match press conference for the Arsenal game. With a calf injury, it is always very high risk, especially with his calves. And also what he said about Matip is interesting. Joao Matip's knee is still irritated, it's still flared up. We need to give him time. I don't know the exact time he will need, but it will really need time to heal. Of course, Matip could come back earlier if his knee injury heals faster, but I think Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool will want to make it 100% sure that Joao Matip's knee is completely healed. We shouldn't rush him back, because that could mean Joao Matip could miss an even bigger part of the season, and Liverpool don't want that. Thankfully, Linders also provided an update on Mohamed Salah after Salah was taken off against Tottenham in the second half. Mo Salah is fine. And towards the end of the game, it is more a precaution because the ankle gets more tired and he feels it a little bit more, and we have to take him off. But he is fine, he is good. All the others are fit, hungry, and ready to go. And Liverpool have also another slight problem. Fabinho, if he picks up another yellow card, then he gets suspended. And I think what we should do is actually play Fabinho against Arsenal and rest him for the Aston Villa game. Because if we rest Fabinho for this game and play him against Aston Villa and he picks up a yellow card, Fabinho misses the biggest, most important game of the season, which is the Manchester City game at Anfield, and we don't want that to happen. And I fear that against Aston Villa, especially with John Moss as the referee and Martin Atkinson is in charge of VAR, Fabinho, it's almost guaranteed that if he plays, he gets a yellow card. I really wanted Fabinho to get a yellow card in the Leicester game, but he didn't, and that's why because he's on 4 yellow cards, and if he gets a 5th one, he gets suspended for 1 match. And if he misses the Man City game, we just have a bigger chance of losing that or not winning it, and that makes me a little bit worried. Also, Linders confirmed that Kaoim Kelleher will start against Arsenal. This is actually what he said, and I quote him: "In this League Cup, it's Kelleher's competition. As I said before, the MK Dons game with youth development, with these moments when they are in between the under-23s and the first team, consistency is very, very important." It looks like that until Liverpool reach the latter stages of the competition, at least Kelleher will play, and I think Arsenal will also play their second team as well. So it's going to be very interesting. I would start with Harvey Elliott, Ryan Brewster and Origi up front, with maybe a midfield of Lallana, Naby Keita and OxladeChamberlain, or as I said, I would start with Fabinho and OxladeChamberlain and Naby Keita in midfield. And also in defense, I would play with James Milner at right back, Vandenberg and maybe Joe Gomez at centre back, and at left back I would play maybe Kiana Höver and switch him with Milner, something like that. I'm just reading that Kiana Höver is away with the Netherlands at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. I didn't know that, so Kiana Höver can't play in this one. And Liverpool will field a young and hungry and fresh lineup against Arsenal with Harvey Elliott part of the squad, and I think he will start because Harvey Elliott has been in form recently. This is what Linders said in his pre-match press conference. I think our squad is not big, but it doesn't make sense, and it would really not be intelligent to make it even smaller by not using its strengths. And one of its strengths, in my opinion, is the power of the youth with experience. That mixture can bring amazing processes. For Arsenal, the Arsenal manager Emery told journalists that Aubameyang, David Luiz, Xhaka and Callum Chambers won't be making the trip to Liverpool, but Reece Nelson is also unavailable with a knee ligament injury, but Özil could make his first appearance for Arsenal since September, which is interesting. And I think Özil will probably captain Arsenal as well. And Linders is also confirmed that Naby Keita and OxladeChamberlain have really big parts to play and help Liverpool in the coming weeks. And he actually commented on the team and how settled it was at the beginning of the season, where we only played 1 game every week. And this is what he said: in the start of the season, we didn't have as many games as now, and we could create a real stability around the team, and many times keep the same core group of players in the starting 11. So you saw already what he did for OxladeChamberlain by playing not game after game in how he contributed in Genk. That's why it's really important. As I've said before, from the bench we want players who can come in and really make a big impact, and so far we have had that. We want to keep that by making a bigger impact in games. They need rhythm, they need consistency, and it is a perfect moment again to change a few things. And Yilmaz also explained that both Keita and Ox need time to get back to their very best. Ox, of course, is a very sad story with the injury. He was very important for us just before the injury happened, as everybody knows. We want to give him time, and we know it will come, his top form. If he keeps his aggression offensively and defensively, we know how he can play. That real offensive aggression, then everything will come. But that needs time after an injury like that. We have glimpses already. And we have seen really good phases from him, and he said it himself. He wants to do it now for 95 minutes and 2 times 95 minutes. That will be the next step, but he's very important for us because he gives us a completely different dynamic to create. Naby was unlucky with his injury this pre-season. The first year at a club like Liverpool with a new style in the Premier League. We all know that takes time, but we can all see what a magnificent player he is and what he can do to our team, especially in how he brings the ball into the final third and how to disorganize opposition. It is important for both players, like every single player, to stay fit and gain consistency and to play regularly. And James Milner said that he is not a fan of VAR at all because it ruins the atmosphere around the football games, and this is what he said: I'm not a fan of VAR at all. It might just be that I'm the old school part of me, but I think there's still too much debate around VAR. Goal line technology is incredible, it's brilliant, instant decision, black and white. It's very hard to use VAR. And you have still got opinions on the decisions, and the atmosphere is being ruined. You score, and there's an explosion of noise, and then it's VAR. You wait, is it a goal, is it not a goal, will it be given or not? I had the experience of the penalty the other week against Leicester. That was a new experience, as they are debating if it's going to be a penalty. I think there's use for it if we can improve it, but football is a game of human error on the field and in officiating as well. They have a very tough job, referees, and I'm all for making their lives easier, but not at the expense of the flow of the game. If the VAR took away controversy, I would back it 100%, but we are still having discussions about VAR. I don't think many footballers feel differently to me. That's a very good point by James Milner. I think that they need to iron out the mistakes around VAR, and then it will be much better. And Sadio Mane gave a brilliant interview to a Norwegian TV station, and he revealed this about how he feels about playing for Liverpool FC. I'm very happy to be part of this great club, Liverpool FC, and I enjoy it a lot. Hopefully I stay here forever. I've been to some clubs around the world, but Liverpool is unique. It's like a family. The mood is always incredible, but it's normal that we have been together for 4 years and we know each other. We are also together off the field, and that is important for morale. And it's easy to work with Firmino and Salah. I feel lucky to get to play with them. They are really good players and they make everything easier. Mo is fun sometimes. He's a cool and nice guy. Bobby is very shy. He's the most shy football player I have ever met. But he's a very nice person as well. And I'm just so happy to hear that, because Mane was linked with Real Madrid. Of course, it was probably media speculation, but Mane himself didn't really come out at the time to deny the rumors. He doesn't have to, of course, but I just wanted to hear this from Mane, that he is very happy at Liverpool and he wants to stay at Liverpool forever, for as long as possible, and that's brilliant. And Jamie Carragher said very interesting comments on Liverpool's performance against Tottenham. He said, I thought Tottenham looked more dangerous in the second half than in the first half. Going forward, they obviously had the chance from Son with the open and go, but Liverpool are just the better team. They just steamrolled Tottenham. That's a Liverpool proper performance. Man City don't win games like that this season. Man City win games differently and they look better on the eye, so you think that City are a better team when you watch them in terms of how they play and the amount of chances they create. But actually playing against Liverpool is non-stop. Every time they couldn't get out, someone is on top of them. Every time they get the ball out, win the ball back and they go again. Yeah, Liverpool don't have De Bruyne in there. They get the creativity from the fullbacks, but it's just non-stop. They must be an absolute nightmare to play against Liverpool. And Carragher is right. I think the team that everybody doesn't want to play against is Liverpool, probably. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.